Hello, it's Spot the Money, and I am Bimbola Awele. Nurmagomedov's announcement of his retirement starts a conversation about him being an MMA GOAT. Lewis Hamilton sets new Formula One record for number of wins. Ajax sets goal-scoring record at VVV Venlo's expense. And Morocco's Berkane win their first African title in 1-0 win against the Pyramids. We begin with tennis, where German Alexander Zverev captured his second ATP indoor title in a week with a 6-2, 6-1 victory against Argentina's Diego Schwartzman in Cologne. 23-year-old Zverev, ranked 7th in the world, needed only 1 hour and 11 minutes to seal his 13th ATP title. This was the moment it happened.
And he only needs the one. Another cracker of a forehand. What a performance that was from Sasha Zverev. Of course, so sorry for Diego Schwartzman. Gave him no quarter. And there was no doubt from the get-go where this was going to end up. So unbeaten in 2 weeks of tennis here in Cologne. Thoroughly enjoying, once again, playing tennis on home soil.
The win takes Zverev's record against second seed Schwartzman to 2-2. Zverev had been troubled by a hip problem earlier in the week, but he strolled to an 8th straight win in Cologne and is set to compete at the ATP Finals in London next month, where he will seek to regain the title he won for the first time in 2018. Meanwhile, at the European Open in Antwerp, Frenchman Ugo Humbert claimed the second ATP title with a 6-1, 7-6, 7-4 win over Australian Alex de Minaur. The 22-year-old saved 4 match points to beat Britain's DanEvans in the semi-finals on Saturday. He solved the 8th seed in 1 hour and 37 minutes and is set to rise from 38th in the world rankings to number 32. In MMA, UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov started a debate on whether he's MMA's GOAT after stunning the mixed martial arts world by announcing his immediate retirement from the sport. The news came moments after Nurmagomedov had extended his perfect professional record to 29 wins, no losses, with a second-round triangle choke submission of interim champion Justin Gaethje at UFC 254.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 34 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by technical submission due to a triangle choke, and still undefeated, and the UFC undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov.
His father, coach and mentor, Abdul Manap, died this summer following complications arising. His father, coach and mentor, Abdul Manap, died this summer following complications arising from COVID-19, and Khabib's mother told him she didn't want him to fight again. Nurmagomedov then made a promise that his fight against Gaethje would be his last. The 32-year-old Russian had already been touted as the greatest MMA fighter of all time, but his retirement immediately reignited the debate over where he ranks in the history of the sport. Let's listen to the moment Nurmagomedov announced his retirement. In golf, American Patrick Cantlay posted 9 birdies in his 7 under 65 to capture the Zozo Championship by 1 stroke. The 28-year-old world number 14 began the final day 3 shots behind leader Justin Thomas, but finished on 23 under for his 3rd PGA Tour victory. Thomas made 3 birdies in the first 6 holes, but finished with a 69 to share second with John Ram. Rory McIlroy made 29 birdies over the week, his record for a PGA Tour 72-hole event, but was 8th back in tied 17th. Meantime, Tiger Woods, the 5-time winner and 5-time runner-up at the Sherwood Country Club, finished joint 72nd at 1 under after a 74, with playing partner Phil Mickelson 76th at 3 over after a 78. And now to Formula One. No one in the history of the sport has taken more wins than Lewis Hamilton as he smashed through Michael Schumacher's all-time record of wins. Hamilton crossed the line at the end of the Portuguese Grand Prix with more than 25 seconds ahead of Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton turned in a series of fastest laps. After the race, the 35-year-old was asked how much further he can raise the bar.
Well, I don't believe in the saying the sky's the limit. I think it's just a saying, but I think it depends how much we want it, how much we want to continue to raise the bar, and going by our history together, that just the way we work, we don't sit back on our results. We keep working, we keep elevating. Every race feels like it's the first one. I don't know how that's possible after all these races, but for me it does. Just as challenging as the first, and I think there's a lot more for us to do, especially as we're in this crazy time of the pandemic. We're in a crazy time of having to also utilize our position as a business, as a leader in the business for inclusivity, for diversity. There's a lot of work to do, so that keeps me inspired, that keeps me, my teammates who are continuously growing, my fans who are continuously learning through this process with us all, and our sport, it's slowly changing. It's a real special time, so I definitely sometimes wonder, geez, I'm 35 years old, I still feel physically strong, but, of course you wonder, when is it going to tip over and when you're going to start losing performance? But showing by today, it's not yet.
His teammate Bottas also has some congratulatory words.
First of all, I want to say massive congrats to Lewis for this amazing achievement and big part of motorsport history made. And, actually some of the interviewers were saying that, what do I think about it? Because many people thought that it's never possible to break the record, but that's exactly the mistake. I'm sure Lewis always believed it is possible, and you just keep going. So really, hats off. It's big respect.
Theo Geoghegan-Hart has become only the second British man to win the Giro d'Italia after taking the title in Milan. The 25-year-old won Saturday's stage 20 to share the lead with Jai Hindley before the final stage, making it the first such instance in the race's history. Geoghegan-Hart is the first British man alongside Chris Froome, Bradley Wiggins, Geraint Thomas and Simon Yates to win a Grand Tour. Geoghegan-Hart described this victory as bizarre. In rugby, England were crowned 2020 Women's Six Nations champions after France could only draw with Scotland on Sunday. The 13-13 draw at Scoutstown ensured back-to-back titles for the Red Roses ahead of next week's Grand Slam decider against Italy. England were not in action as the competition resumed this weekend, having already played 4 matches, as the French needed a win to maintain their hopes of lifting the title for the first time in 2 years. And now to football. We begin in the Dutch Eredivisie, where a new goal-scoring record was set. Not 1, not 2, not even 10, but 13 goals were scored in a single game, and all were from one team. It was Ajax going to town against 10-man VVV Venlo in the Eredivisie on Saturday. The win takes the Amsterdam club to the top of the league. Lassina Traoré helped himself to 5 goals. Jurgen Ekkelenkamp scored twice. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, remember him, scored twice. Daley Blind also got in on the fun with a goal. Dusan Tadic got one for himself as well, while Anthony and Lisandro Martinez got the remaining 2. It was El Clasico weekend in La Liga, with Real Madrid taking first blood from Barcelona at Camp Nou. The champions defeated their bitter rivals 3-1 with goals from Federico Valverde, Sergio Ramos and Luka Modric. Barcelona's only goal was from their 17-year-old youngster Ansu Fati 3 minutes after Valverde opened scoring in the 5th minute. Barcelona boss Ronald Koeman complained after the game, saying the video assistant referee system seems to be only used to make decisions against Barca after Sergio Ramos' penalty in the 63rd minute. Barca had 2 penalty appeals of their own turned down. One was for a Rafael Varane challenge on Leo Messi. The second was a possible Varane handball. But overall, it was a perfect display from Real Madrid. Fati, who became the first player under the age of 18 to score in El Clasico, and Serginho Dest, who joined from Ajax at the start of this month, were 2 of Barca's better performers. Serie A champions Juventus continued their stuttering start to the Italian top-flight season after being held by Hellas Verona. Andrea Pirlo's side are unbeaten after 5 games but have drawn 3 of them and won only 2. Former Chelsea striker Alvaro Morata had a goal ruled out by VAR for offside before Andrea Favilli gave the visitors a shock lead on the hour mark. But Sweden's Dejan Kulusevski levelled for Juve with 13 minutes left, courtesy of a superb solo run and a sublime finish. The Old Ladies' next match will be away against Spezia on November the 1st, while current leaders AC Milan will be away at Udinese. In the English Premier League, it was a first in 47 years as Leicester City defeated Arsenal at the Emirates. The Foxes had not beaten the Gunners in North London since 1973 until Jamie Vardy came off the bench to become Arsenal's nemesis once again, ending Leicester's 262-minute goal drought in the league. 33-year-old Vardy had missed 2 games with a calf injury, but he was reintroduced after a largely sterile opening hour at the Emirates. The former England international headed home fellow substitute Cengiz Under's pass to bring up a remarkable 11th Premier League goal against Arsenal in 12 appearances. Only Wayne Rooney with 12 has more goals.
Mendy. Tielemans again. Only for what's a great ball. Leicester could be in. Under plays it across and they've scored. And it's that man, Jamie Vardy. Who else? And Leicester have taken the lead in a swift counter-attack.
Under's run was excellent. Got away from Xhaka and the centre was perfect for Vardy too. He could easily have gone for goal himself, but picked out his teammate in a better position, and Jamie Vardy off the bench has made the difference.
Until Vardy's arrival, Leicester had barely threatened, but they have now won their opening 3 away league games for the first time. Arsenal were disappointing despite dominating possession and having 12 shots on goal. They never looked like seriously testing Leicester goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel as they slipped to a first home league defeat of 2020. Mikel Arteta questioned the decision to rule out an early goal from the Gunners.
I felt that we had total control of the game in the first half. We restricted them to basically nothing. We were really efficient at high press. We were winning every ball. We created a few good chances. We scored a goal that I don't know how it got disallowed as well. And then in the second half, they were going to defend deeper. They did it, and they're just waiting for your mistake. And in one moment, in an open space, to try to hurt you on your back, and they did it. Against this block, against a team that is so well organized, it's really difficult to create chances. So when you open them up, you have to put the ball in that net. You have to use the set piece as well as a weapon. We did it. We scored the goal. Okay, it was disallowed again. But the Man City game, it was very, very similar. Man City scoring 2 set pieces, and they got them in the break. A lot credit to them for what they've done. But to be fair, the way our players responded, how they worked, the pressure that they put, everything that they tried to do, I feel really sorry for them as well.
On his part, Leicester manager Brendan Rodgers had nothing but praises for his team.
A very good team performance. Players' concentration was very good, defensively strong, and like I say, we played with quality. We always felt that we wanted to bring Jamie into the game on the around 60 minutes. He's been out for obviously a period of time, but you know he can stretch the game in behind. Then it was just to see how the other players cope, James and Dennis. Unda's someone who can make things happen, and Obviously, great movement and squared it really well for Jimmy to score. So yeah, and then Mark was just closing out the game at the end.
And Morocco's RS Berkane defeated the Pyramids of Egypt 1-0 in the first one-legged Confederation Cup final to win their first African title on Sunday. A scrappy goal from Issoufou Dayo settled a tight contest in Rabat after just 15 minutes as the Burkinabe defender turned home from a close range after the Egyptians failed to clear a free kick. Berkane will now contest the 2020-2021 African Super Cup as a team that has never won the Moroccan League title celebrates its greatest success. The club from northeast Morocco also gave their nation a much-needed boost after Egyptian duo Al Ahly and Zamalek gained the upper hand against both Wydad and Raja Casablanca in recent Champions League semi-finals. The Moroccan club, which was founded in 1938, has now won the only 2 trophies in their history in the last 2 years. They have added the Confederations Cup to their 2018 Moroccan Cup success. Now, the Daily Mail is reporting that Super Eagles players in the English Premier League are in talks over providing aid for victims of the EndSARS protest in Nigeria. This comes after boxer Anthony Joshua on Wednesday tweeted that he was looking at supporting the victims. The heavyweight champion, born of Nigerian parents, tweeted that he is looking at hospitals to support along with food and care packages. Meanwhile, Arsenal have also offered support to their Nigerian fans in the wake of the violence in the country. The London-based club posted the message on their Twitter handle on Saturday. And former Brazilian playmaker Ronaldinho has tested positive for COVID-19, but he has no symptoms. The 40-year-old former Barcelona and AC Milan midfielder made the announcement in a video posted on Instagram. He will remain in isolation in a Belo Horizonte hotel. Brazil has registered more than 156,000 deaths from coronavirus. The number of fatalities from the virus is only second to the United States, which has over 220,000 deaths. And that's our show for today. The conversation continues on Twitter at AfricaBizRadio and online at www.africabusinessradio.com. Until our next episode, I'm Bimbola Oyele. Keep winning.